This is Pete Thomas for the behind the scenes, a little bit of commentary. Just a few things that I noticed. For one, I want to know, what's Tracy holding on to? It's like she's got a little book of incantations. Did you notice that? Also, the actual temptation challenge was in the grotto. I was like, oh, they're trying to make it like a little spooky here. I thought that was kind of neat. But anyway, from there, I loved it when they were working out what Rebecca said. Bob told her to quit whining, and Rebecca says that basically, I'm going to bitch and cry, but I'm still going to work out. I thought that was kind of sweet that she's admitting that she's going to cry and whine, but she is not going to stop. I thought that was some awesome stuff. The next thing is, really watching Dina struggle with the stool, with the actual box and lifting her feet up there. You notice that when she was attempting it, she never bent her knees, and so we know that this struggle is all mental because Jillian already said, you possess the physical ability to do this, And one of the things that she said I thought was really, really unique. She said, counting on yourself is a scary thing when you've never done it. So Dina's struggle is really something that you ought to look at in your own life. Do you struggle to do things? Are you struggling to lose weight? Sometimes you've got to get to the point to where you realize, I need to do this for me. Whatever it is, whether it may be, going back to school and getting your education, you have got to get to the point to where you do some things just for you. When I teach weight loss classes, I really teach this, that you can't come to the class just because there's, someone that's been on TV, someone that, happens to have lost a lot of weight. You have to get to the point to where you're doing this for you. Now, I know a ton about weight loss and I can get the weight off you, but at the end of the day, I cannot carry you through to the weight loss goal. You have got to do it for yourself. And so we see that struggle here, really magnified here with Dina. But that struggle is with many of us, whether, like I have said, whether it be going back to school or getting a degree or doing any one of these things, we've got to get to the point to where we're willing to do it for ourselves. It's so easy sometimes to do things for other people because you have to take care of the family and take care of that. But what about you? So I just think it's real interesting to watch Dina go through this struggle. And we know that she's going to come through on the other side because she's got a great team around her. Now, there's some other things that I thought were really neat. All right, one of the things that Liz said was really powerful. In going through this, she says, I'm willing to go to the gym. I'm willing to pass out in the gym every single day if I have to. When you get to the point of that level of determination, there's nothing that's going to stop you. Absolutely nothing is going to stop you. And sometimes that's what it takes. So we see in the Biggest Loser environment, we see all of these different things that come into play that make it successful. Number one, we see great teammates and accountability between each other and to yourself and to the cameraman and everybody else. So we see that. And then we see, of course, that there's money on the line. We see the competition factor. All of these things come into play. And this week we saw that something triggered Liz. That feeling like she had been betrayed. And so that thing is triggering her to go out and work out even harder. She accomplished her goal for the week. She said that she was going to lose enough weight to get immunity, and she absolutely did. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the videos. Remember the videos? I thought Rebecca's sister was just too funny. I thought that was neat. But really, in that environment, when you see your other competitors and you've talked to them over the days and weeks, and you know that they're missing family members. Some people, they miss their family more than others. And so that's why contestants or competitors are willing to give up their videos for others, because it's just a care and a concern that you have for your fellow competitor. Even though they are a competitor, you still care about them, and you know that they're missing family members or they're missing their kids even more than you. So that's why we see that, and I just thought that was so unique. The last thing is when we look at the voting, the way that the votes went down on the blue team. My particular season, we chose to vote off the guy that had lost the most weight to that point. His name was Nikki G. Why? Because he was emotionally draining, and he was dividing us up, between us and our trainer. Our trainer thought that we were, lining up behind him when we weren't. We just didn't care about him. We were more concerned about working out. And so we chose to vote off our Biggest Loser to date because it meant that the team would be emotionally in a better position. And so that looked like the way things were going until Mo talked about his injury and talked about basically, I can't go on, you know, and so it'd be interesting. If he was in good health, we would have seen Tracy go home without a doubt, but because he was struggling with his health, you know, Liz, she noticed too, that if Tracy stays there a little longer, you know, tit come for tat down the road, that Tracy would be more likely to get voted off than her, you know, in a few weeks down the road. So we'll have to see how that plays out. The last thing is contestants are going home, and it appears that somebody, you know, had a little overindulgence, and I'm wondering who that is. Who doesn't have the support at home? Who's going to fail at home? Who's going to make some mistakes? We'll have to see how that whole thing plays out. It'll be really interesting to see how it plays out. But anyway, another great show. I said this must be the tear-jerker season of The Biggest Loser, because everybody, you know, their stories are just so powerful, and really people are telling me all the time on Twitter and Facebook about how, you know, they're crying up and tearing up during this particular season. So, all right, have a great day. This has been the additional commentary. Remember, there's a winner within you. Talk to you later.